Leslie Rob comedy, welcome to the show. Wait, Leslie Rob said what? What? Leslie Rob said what? What'd she say? What? Leslie Rob said what?
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to season 4. Can you guys believe it? Of Leslie Said What? Can you guys believe we are in season 4, guys? Season 4, episode 1. And guys, it has been a while since we've been on here, right? Am I right? It's been a while, but I'm super excited to be back, and even more excited about my guest tonight, Miss Cherie Nettles, guys. She's going to be awesome. She's going to be talking to us about being a teacher and how Jesus is what helped her teach, okay? Because let's be for real, the struggle is real out here, okay? We out here, we doing the thing. So as per usual, guys, feel free to join the conversation via the comments. We want you to join the conversations with your comments, your questions. We just want you to feel engaged, okay? We want you to feel connected, okay? So again, tonight we have Cherie Nettles who's going to be joining us. Okay, I see some of you guys already in the comments. Woo! So glad you guys are here. I'm going to read Cherie's bio real quick. Cherie says, tired teacher, comedian, humorous storyteller, speaker, writer, and potato chip connoisseur. Married to Mike for 30 happy years. Married 34, but 30 have been happy. Gotta love her. Our kiddos' teen years were rough. Son Alex, his wife Hannah, daughter Ashley, her husband, William, at any minute now going to be promoted to grandmother. My baby boy is a Yorkie poo named Clarence. Brought him on the Kennels 50% off page, guys. Gotta love Cherie. I promise you, she's awesome. You guys are gonna laugh and we're gonna have a good time. She lives in West Columbia, South Carolina. Her silly facts, okay? All right, here we go. She has taught grades 1 through 12, except 6. Middle school is her favorite, which I don't understand. Trust me, I don't get it. I taught middle school for 1 year, y'all. I ain't doing it no more. You can't make me. Okay? It is where you get your best material. And she's right. Teaching period is where you get your best material, but I bet you with middle school, even more so. So yes, guys, let's go to the comments and see who's here. Say hello so we know you're here. Hey, my former student, Cheyenne. Hey, Cheyenne. I'm glad you're here, honey. I miss you too. Hey, Chris, glad you're here. So yes, guys, we are so glad that you all are here and we are excited to get started. So without further ado, guys, I'm going to bring out Miss Cherie Nettles. Hey, Cherie.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Leslie?
I am good. I am just so glad you were able to join us tonight.
I'm excited to be here. I really am. I kind of feel like my head's a bobblehead, though. I mean, but it's good. We're good. We're good.
Is it the look of the podcast here?
Yeah, no, just being on screen for anything. You just kind of like your head's bobbling, but we're good.
It's true. I got you. You, Cherie. Well, Cherie, let's start off by you telling us who's Cherie Nettles.
Who is it? Me? What? Me?
Yep, Cherie said what?
What? It's me. Yeah. I'm Cherie Nettles. Ta-da. Yeah. I'm a potato chip connoisseur. I've never met a potato chip I didn't like, but I can certainly take some potato chips that aren't good. Well, I've only come across one potato chip that wasn't any good, and that was stale, but I ate them anyway. So we're good. Yeah.
Let's be for real. We had already gotten too far.
Yeah,
too far to go back.
Yeah, too far now.
I totally get it. Now, Cherie, tell us about what it is that you do.
I am actually as little as possible. I do as little as possible, but some days it's demanded that you do more. I'm actually a Christian comedian. I believe I'm a humorous storyteller. I love story. I'm a collector of stories. I love story. I love people's stories. I love to put them into comedy. And I love to read the Word of God. So I'm a Bible teacher also.
I love it. Now, Cherie, you did teach public school. How long did you teach public school?
I taught public school for 5 years, and then I got pregnant with our first child, and I tagged out at that point. And then during COVID, in 14 days, I lost 18 jobs. So I kind of thought it was time to retire. I was like really excited. I was the only person excited about a global pandemic. And
oh, wow. I hear you.
My school district called me and said, hey, we've got a reading interventionist job. And I was like, awkward. I can't read. But anyway, so they brought me in and as a reading interventionist. And that's how I got my elementary years in, because I'm a secondary certified teacher, but I taught middle school. And then I was a reading interventionist grades 1 through 5.
Oh, so cool. Because the thing is, yeah, no, I get you. It's like you get in there and you're like, okay, so I don't like reading, but I mean, well, for me, I don't like reading. So I couldn't have come back for them. I'm glad that you could.
I don't like to read. I really don't like to read. So the kids were like, why do I have to read this? And I was like, I had the same question 45 years ago, and we still haven't answered it. We put a man on the moon, and we can't answer why we have to read. I mean,
exactly. Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is I was actually good at reading growing up, but even to now, Cherie, I hate it. If you put a book in front of me, you might as well just shoot me because I'm going to cry. I'm really going to.
Well, you know what, Leslie, the real problem, and I'm not going to try to get too serious, is that we've got things that kids have to read instead of kids learn what they love and then reading from that. Because, I mean, we had this we had this book about this cat, and I was like, I don't like cats. I'm allergic to cats. Why are we reading about cats? And then something about, I can remember my best friend's daughter, who is now in her mid-30s, reading a story called Sally Has New Shoes. And some of y'all may know that. We're still reading that in the public school system. I'm like, what are you doing? Sally's got a bigger foot. Sally's got another pair of shoes. I'm like, you're kidding.
You're like, what is really going on?
I was like, what's going on with you people? Yeah.
Oh, no, I hear you.
Hold on. If Sally hasn't grown, we need to take her to the doctor. Okay? Because something's wrong.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. I bet we could both go on and on too about the craziness of the stuff that still goes on in the public school system.
Still goes on.
Yes. That people still teach with that. Yeah, we probably need to retire it. I mean,
like a couple of things we don't need to do anymore, but okay, yeah.
Exactly.
Like that chalkboard, we've already proven kids are allergic to that. Don't bring one in your classroom. Yeah.
Legit. I will never understand the chalkboard thing again. Like that's a whole. I'm like, oh my goodness, whiteboard, like smart board. Now we got all kinds of boards.
Yeah, you're like, what are you doing? And getting the kids little chalkboards. They had chalk. I was like, they're going to suffocate from the chalk dust. I mean, don't you remember? I mean, and they blame asbestos on my generation. It's not asbestos. It's chalk dust.
It is chalk dust? That's what they've inhaled.
But a scapegoat was asbestos. So we're still blaming it.
Yeah. Apparently. That's what we're going to go with.
Yeah.
June says this show is going to be fire. Oh, thanks, June.
Hey, June. Yeah.
And Rhonda says 2 of my favorites. Hey, Rhonda.
Do we know her? No, I'm just kidding. Hey, Rhonda.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Cherie. So here's the thing. All right.
Yes.
This is a topic that I wanted you to hit on. Jesus helped me teach. Okay. And I know that's in the past tense, but we didn't even talk about that in the present tense. Like, Jesus helped me teach.
Jesus, help me teach. Yes.
That's why I heard that a little bit.
Yeah.
Could you talk on that a bit?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm that person that's really, seriously. Leslie, you know, I know that teachers are so prepared to go in the classroom and everything. I mean, they just threw us out there.
Legit.
I mean, really, we had student teaching. You know, I've got friends that they dated their cooperating teacher, so they probably didn't learn a lot about education then. But I mean, they just, like, we took 3.5 years of college, and you could take all kind of stuff. Like, I was taking history courses, I was taking art, I was taking a health course. I couldn't pass CPR, but they let me in the public classroom. That's all.
Yeah, and now it's even worse, Cherie. Sorry to interrupt you, but now it's even worse. You don't even have to have a teaching license anymore. Like, did you see that at one point they had the military even in the schools teaching?
Well, now that might not be a bad idea. That might not be it. Are they? I'm sorry, I shouldn't ask this, but can they be locked and loaded if they can?
They need to be if they know what's good for them.
We might get a few of that. You say it again, I got a grenade. I'm not afraid of you.
Exactly. Don't come for me, little boy. I got something for you in my pocket.
Do it.
Let's go.
Get down and give me 50. Yeah. That's great.
They're getting more and more desperate. They literally had the military soldiers teaching to make up for the teacher loss.
Right. Well, my daughter just went out on maternity leave. She's a school teacher, and she, it wasn't just until like a week ago that she knew who her long-term sub was going to be. So yeah, there's a shortage.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. But like you said, they just threw you in there, and then I'm sorry, I cut you off before you could finish. Go ahead.
No, but you're right. And so you do your student teaching, and then they walk in the day of your student teacher right before you graduate and go, look, we've got this long-term sub job, and we would love for you to work in the school district. So we've signed you up for that. So it's like you're in there with wolves. And you're not dancing with the wolves. You're part of what they're eating, and you're just in there. And of course, nobody stopped to tell me, guess where they had me? They had me in ISS, in school suspension.
Oh, no.
That's a tough crowd. You can't make the crowd laugh. You cannot make that crowd laugh.
No, there is no way around it.
That's a tough crowd. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Leslie, I see you. You said you're a chalk dust survivor. We're glad you survived, Leslie.
Yeah. Try to see if I can get us some benefits, Leslie. Hang on. I'm going to see.
Exactly. Well, Cherie, have you ever gotten to the point where you've realized your teaching and Christianity collide? Did you ever feel like you had to either compromise or that, your Christianity would be somehow targeted or, any of that?
Leslie, I live in South Carolina where it is officially still legal to marry your cousin. So it's not... We're ready for that, were you?
Oh my God!
So you're hoping that somebody comes in and shares a Bible verse, like "Don't marry in your family" or something like that. But
so you're like, that's the least of our worries.
I was like, are you kidding me? Yeah. Girl, yeah. If we can get a verse on the chalkboard, it was chalkboard back in the day. If we can get a verse on the whiteboard or on the whiteboard today, if we can get a verse that they can read it, we're like, yeah, we don't care what it says. We're good.
Yeah. I hear you.
If they give you the reference, nobody's going to question you. They're going to say, well, look at Miss Nettles' kids. They're really educated, aren't they? Yeah. That one's going to be a pastor right there.
Yeah, right there. Look at that. She's birthing Christians in that classroom. Oh, man.
Yeah. No, I really didn't. I really do. Living in South Carolina, I'm in Lexington School District 2. It's where I grew up. And we still, go by a lot of Christian precepts. When I was a reading interventionist, I did. Some of my kiddos, we were talking one day, and one of them told me they didn't have a Bible. And then the other three said they didn't have a Bible either. And I was like, I didn't have but 3 at a time. Usually I had 4 in this group. And I was like, can I buy y'all a Bible? And they were like, sure. They're like, could you buy some candy too? And so a Bible and candy. And I told my vice principal that. She's like, wow, whatever you do, don't tell me that you bought the kids a Bible. I said, good. I didn't buy just one Bible. I bought 4. But anyway, yeah.
Well, and nowadays people would say you were brave for that because that's like walking papers. You get fired.
I survived chalk dust. I ain't scared.
You're like, I ain't scared of nothing.
I ain't scared. Are you kidding?
Hi, Maritza. Welcome. Yeah, no, I'm with you. The thing is when you told your principal that you bought 4 Bibles, for your students, and she said, "Don't tell me you bought 1 Bible. You said you bought 4." How did she respond?
She laughed at me. They knew when they called me back in the classroom what I did. I was like, no, I'm not kidding. This is not a joke. But you got to remember, I was a part-time reading interventionist. Leslie, I didn't have to have the job. So if you want to ask the question, do I see Christianity colliding and education today? Yes, it's colliding. Yes, it is. It's definitely, my personal experience, no, but yes, it's colliding, and and I don't quite understand it because there's so many other things that aren't colliding. Well, why does this have to collide? I don't understand. I'm not arguing about what other kids. And Leslie, early when I taught social studies. I seriously did. I have a secondary degree in social studies, and so I taught social studies. So world religions was part of what I taught. So I always could teach.
That's awesome.
Yeah, of course, when we got to World War II, I brought in. It was really cool. There was precious woman in our community that she was a Polish, survived a Polish concentration camp. And so she came in, and then the next week we had a Jewish survivor come in and speak. And then their family got out. But anyway, and so it just, so right after that, they brought up religion. And so then the next day, the kid said, "What do you believe?" And so, of course, you're able to step into it. And then I could teach Christianity. So I don't know that it's that easily done anymore, though. I really don't. At the high school level, I don't see that being true, not even at the high schools in my community anymore.
Yeah, because in our overly offensive society, like where everybody's so easily offended, it's sad, but you really have to be careful when it comes to being a Christian and teaching at the same time.
Yes.
Sadly,
it really is.
You just have to be really careful because, like, honestly, the way things are now, things do tend to, like, I guess you could say, collide in a sense of like what you're gonna accept and go with and what you're not going to accept and go with.
Right. Yeah. If you don't mind me interjecting, Leslie, the good thing I see right here is, and I'm going to say it about you, is that there's so much light in you that
thank you.
That it may feel like your words are colliding, but your actions aren't. And, I think as Christians, if we spent more time in the action than the words, I think we'd see a lot more fruit anyway. So
yeah,
and the harvest anyway. So,
and that's the thing is I love on my kids. So I'm glad you do say that because that's true. I love how you said that because one of the other teachers who also teaches high school, like I do, and is Christian, she said we have to be the hands and feet of Jesus. Like these kids need to know that we love them regardless. Like we love them. We're here for them, regardless.
Well, I was speaking of another educator one time. It was a group of us, and I said, "Oh, well, we go to church together." And one of the ladies looked and went, "She goes to church," and the Bible tells us that we'll know people by their love, and so, Leslie, you know what? You might not be able to say it, but they see it every single day.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I choose to do. And I'm like, my thing is like, I try to go in with that joy and then hopefully eventually get that question where it's like, Miss Rob, why are you always so happy? Or Miss Rob, why are you always so joyous? And then they can tell, hey, I can answer them. And they may not be able to openly say, but when they ask me, I can say.
Right.
Like, put that out there.
Yeah. This, my daughter is quite pregnant. She's due any day now. And so see my grandma cup.
Oh, look at you.
I just promised her at the beginning of the year that I would chaperone a field trip she just had a week ago. And she's very pregnant. So I said, I'll absolutely do that. And it was sweet listening to the kids, but it was sweet watching her because I thought, she never has to say Jesus to those kids. She loved on them. If one wasn't listening on the field trip, she got on their eye level. She spoke with them. She hugged them. She lets them. I love this. One of the little girls came up one day and said, "Could I speak to your baby?" And she said, "Only if you call her by her name." And so by the time she was leaving, the kids were saying, "I love you, Emma." She's naming her little girl Emma. And she got to say to them going back, she goes, "Emma loves all of you." And you know what? You can't deny that. You just can't. You can't.
No, and the thing is like when we were growing up, okay, my mom used to say this to us. I mean, right before we get a whooping, right. She was like, "Look, I done told you not to do it, and if you can't hear, you can feel." Yeah. So that's the thing when it comes. So
I love that.
And the thing is that's what happens when it comes to our students. Like they may not be able to hear it because we've never said it, but they can feel it. They can feel the love of Jesus. They know something's different about you as a teacher. You know what I mean? You don't have to openly say Jesus is no, they can feel it. They can feel something's different.
Amen. Well, Leslie, I love you. They don't have to hear your words, but they'll be able to feel it. Mm-hmm. And you know what I used to say to my kids, you remember this is gonna hurt me worse than it does you. I'd look at my kids straight up and say, I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all, this isn't gonna hurt me at all, but it's gonna hurt you when I get done, okay? But anyway, so my kids grew up to be good.
My mama, she was right there with you, Cherie, right there with you. She's like, "Look, I'm gonna tear that tail up. Keep on playing with me."
She did. I'd be like, "Do it again.
Do it again. I dare you." And my sister was the brave one. My mom would be like, "You want me to whoop you?" My sister would be like, "Yeah." Here we go right here. Sue says, while in the classroom, I always kept my Bible on my desk. If they asked what was God opening the door, that was God opening the door. Plant
Amen.
those mustard seeds when you that will preach
That's
right there.
good.
That's the
good.
thing. It's the little things, like those little things that prompt those questions. That is what is up.
That is
For
gold,
sure.
Sue. Because you know what? They are watching everything we do. If we change a necklace, if we change one day, if you change your hair, or if I didn't have lipstick on, yes. So something like your Bible or Saved by Grace on a plaque, just anything, they're gonna see it. That's gold right there.
Yep, Sue, that is gold. Seriously. Yeah. Leslie says, kids are curious. They ask questions about God. We are definitely having that conversation. As a title aide, I only get my groups 30 minutes a day. I'll take any chance I can get. Exactly, Leslie. Like, it's those small seeds. Like, we're not proselytizing. Is that what it is? I always get that confused with prostate. It's proselytizing.
We're not prostating or proselytizing. Neither one.
Okay. Because I always get those words confused. And that's not what my goal is. I'm not trying to proselyte anything. Prostitute, proselyte, anything.
I'm not trying to. Yeah. That's good. What?
So, yes, Leslie, you are right. Any type of opportunity we get, we get it. And we do what we can with it. Right. June says, I survived scented markers. They were toxic, but delicious.
June. We couldn't afford those in South Carolina, but we did eat the colored chalk.
Yes, those scented markers were a setup, though. Those grape scented and all those other ones.
It was.
Oh, Mike! Hey, Mike! It's so good to see your name on here.
Hey, Mike.
Mike is guys. You should definitely take a chance to follow Mike. Mike is also a teacher. He's a middle school teacher, and he is a stand-up comedian on the Board Teachers Tour with me.
Yeah. Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike.
Sue says that Bible came with me to my office now. Again, taking those opportunities when I can.
Absolutely.
Yep, Sue, wherever it is that you are, that keeping it with you. Like, and that's the thing. Like, we think about, okay, the students in our classroom, but even our colleagues. So,
right.
Sue, working in an office setting now, even our colleagues, everybody needs the love of Jesus. Everybody needs Jesus. So.
Everybody does. And Leslie, Sue, I so agree. You know, when we accept Christ, and here we go, I'm not trying to get too deep, okay, because I'll drown. But anyway, not trying to get too deep. But, you know, when we accept Christ, the word of God literally is written on our hearts.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, we may not have our Bibles with us, but we sure can be living the love, the peace, the patience, the kindness, the goodness. It's written on us. But I love that you had your Bible with you. That's awesome.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, I liked how you said that, because honestly, that there's that saying that goes, we may be the only Bible that people ever read. We may be the only Jesus that people ever see or encounter. And so we have to leave people better than we found them. Like, even if it's just showing them love in some capacity.
Right.
You know, Leslie says in response to June's scented marker question, she said, "That's my sister. She's special." And Leslie, I will agree with you. I do understand. I love my June. I love Bird.
I love Miss June. Yeah. I love Miss June.
Oh, okay. So for our next part, what is your great advice, not just to the current teacher, but to the current Christian teacher? Because there's one thing to be in the school system, because let's be for real, it's the struggle for all of us as a teacher, period.
It's a struggle. It's real.
The struggle is legit real. It's real. But for a Christian teacher, like, what is the best advice that you feel like you could give them? For a teacher who says that they are alone in their faith at their school. Believe it or not, yesterday I posted a video. It's supposed to be funny. About, you know, if you're a Christian teacher who feels alone in your faith, just know I got you. Even if I'm from afar, I got you. Right. And there were several who commented and were like, yeah, it's such a lonely place to be in, to be the only person of faith in their school and no one else is a Christian. So what is some advice that you would give somebody like that?
Well, the first piece of advice that I'd give somebody like that is that we've all felt alone. We've all felt out there alone, and got it. Leslie, I'm not going to get into all this. Mine was on my deathbed. I mean, you know this, Leslie. 21 years ago, I was given 90 days to live. I felt so alone, but got it. I got it. But what I do believe is to always remember, my tag is live like God's telling the truth. Joshua 1:3-5, God says, every place the sole of your foot treads, I've given you. If God has called you to a place and you are the only one, look to him for your strength. He is your strength. You are not alone. He is there. It can feel so deeply lonely, but make him your sanctuary. Talk to him under your breath. When you're in those conversations, nobody supports you. He is always listening to you. So lean. That's when you lean more into God. You just lean more into God. And can I also say the other thing? Man, am I going to promote board teachers? Laugh. You guys make sure you know how to laugh.
Yeah.
Because you know what? If you can laugh with people, that's a universal language. You can find something you have in common. And once you found common ground, one place, you have just created a safety net. People start to trust you. You're connecting with them. So I guess the second thing, laugh. The third thing is don't take yourself so seriously.
Yes.
Don't take it so personally. Don't say, oh, I'm the only one here. You know what? Then go find a friend for another. I found so many great friends in a cancer community. Can you get over that? I mean, wow. Yeah. Some of them are no longer with me. Some of them are just flying out there and doing great and doing all kinds of things. So, don't take it so personally. Don't take yourself so seriously.
Yeah, find your teacher tribe. Like that's what I always says. Like find your teacher tribe. And hey, like if you're alone as a Christian teacher in your school or a Christian educator in your school, and you need a teacher tribe, hey, reach out to me because I'm the only one in my school that I know of.
Yeah. Are you really?
I ain't judging people. I ain't looking into people's schools and and just seeing in the classroom. Like you got to cross somewhere. You got a Bible somewhere. I don't know who saved and who ain't. But I'm just saying. I that's all I know is I am the only one there. So, feel free, guys, to reach out. Like to me, like I said, we could all come together in our own little teacher tribe and keep each other accountable, loved on, seen. The whole thing. That's the whole purpose of Leslie Robb Comedy, anyway. Is teacher humor that helps teachers, especially to stand in that mission field that we're all in.
Amen, Leslie. I love it because I say the greatest mission field in the United States of America is the public school.
It certainly is.
And if you are the only Christian teacher there or the only one that will profess it, look at your mission field. It's not just the kids. I love what you just said. And reach out to your Christian friends. Leslie Robb just volunteered herself. I'll volunteer myself. Do not call me before 9:30 a.m. But other than that, I got you. I got you.
Yes, we all got you. Yes, sure. Before 9 a.m. Man, I bet that was hard, like that shifting to get up early, and then now you're like, woohoo, not till 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Okay, what made you realize it was time to retire?
Awkward.
What?
I'm not retired. I just walked out of my class one day, didn't go back. I think they're still there.
No way.
No.
Shut up. Really?
Still sitting there. I've heard that there's a whole class of kids that didn't graduate. I guess they're mine. I don't know. But anyway.
You're so funny.
Leslie Robb. No, I've really never done anything long enough, well, except breathe, to retire. Other than that, Leslie, I taught the first time for five years, and then I got pregnant and had our kids. And my husband said one day, do you want to stay? I think he just meant, do you want to stay at the movie theater? I don't know. But when he said stay, I called and quit my job. I thought he meant stay at home. But anyways.
So what made you realize it was time to stop teaching then?
Yeah. Then I went back part-time to, and when my son was in middle school, he said it was to ruin his life, and probably correct about that. But anyway, and so I went back to his middle school. I got a great story that goes with that. I won't go into all those details now.
Oh my God.
Taught part-time for 2 years, and I, in ministry full-time. And of course, during COVID, I went back as a reading interventionist. But you know what? I love it because I love people and I love kids. I love people and kids. I just do.
And what a great combination.
Yeah. It's yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And guys, Cherie is an amazing speaker, amazing comedian, amazing Bible teacher. And I know I keep saying the word amazing, an amazing storyteller, like for real, like legit, she is definitely worth looking into. If you look down below, it says find Cherie on social media. If you look her up on Facebook, she's at Cherie Nettles Speaks, and her website is cherienettles.com. So guys, as we've been saying, feel free to join the conversation. We're heading to the as the preacher always says, coming to a close. We're
Coming
coming
close.
to a close.
Anybody want to come to the altar? Come on.
Yes. Bring it on down. Okay,
Come
bring
on.
it down.
Come on.
Does anybody else have any other questions or comments in regards to the topic that Jesus is either helping them, has helped them, or will help them teach? Any questions for Cherie at all? Feel free to drop them in the comments. Other than that, guys, we are so glad that you guys joined us. Cherie, do you have any closing remarks?
Leslie, I just want to say it's been a blessing and an honor to be here. Every person out there that teaches, it is a blessing and an honor and a call to teach. I don't know what got you there, but I do know that you truly are designers of destinies. You are creators of masterpieces, and to one child, every single day, you're a world changer. So keep going.
So true.
Keep going.
Ooh, so well said, Cherie.
Keep going.
So well said. So yes, y'all, keep the faith. If you're teaching, keep the faith. Hang in there, guys. I know it's crazy, like crazy.
Yeah.
But you guys can do this. And to help you, and to give you an extra boost each time, feel free to definitely, like I said, tune in each week or every time a podcast episode drops. Right now, to kick off season 4, we are doing a series called Teachers and Testimonies. Okay, and so Cherie helped us this week with some tips. And just loving on us. We just loved it, Cherie. We love the laugh. Thank you so much. Good to see you, Cherie.
Bye. Love you, Leslie.
Love you. All right, guys. So thank you so much for joining us. Next week, we're continuing the series on teachers and testimonies. And guess what? Actually, because she couldn't make it next Monday, we're going to have to do it this Friday. And so Brittany Bryan will be joining us on this Friday at 10 a.m. for season 4, episode 2. And she's going to be talking about how Jesus, she was all about teaching. Okay. And she was all happy to teach until Jesus said otherwise. And so she'll tell us her story and what took her out of the classroom. So guys, it definitely will be a good one. So tune in this Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, right here, same place, not same time. I was about to say same time. Y'all, I'm losing it. It's okay, y'all. Just pray for me. Well, that is that, guys. Leslie said what? Season 4, episode 1 is out.
Leslie Rob Comedy.